Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, you guys will watch the human heart anatomy. So watch this video and you will understand the whole structures of human heart. So our heart is approximately the size of our fist, and its location, if you will see, it's superior to the diaphragm, left to the midline, anterior to the vertebral column, and posterior to our sternum. So the wall of heart is made up of epicardium, myocardium, fibrous skeleton of the heart, and endocardium. The epicardium is the visceral layer of the serous pericardium. Myocardium is the muscle bulk of the heart. Fibrous skeleton of the heart is the crisscross interlacing layer of connective tissue, and endocardium endothelial layer of inner surface of the heart. You can see the picture. Hopefully this will be helpful for you. So watch in the next slide, you will see the images. So the layer of the heart is made up of pericardium, and the muscle bulk, as I discussed, is myocardium. So in the right side, as you guys will see, the fibrous pericardium and the parietal layer of serous pericardium. Then there is a cavity which is the space, that is the pericardial cavity, which is basically a space. And then you guys will see the visceral layer of serous pericardium. We will, as we discussed in the previous slide, and the myocardium in between the muscle bulk, and then at the end you guys will see the endocardium. So here is the anterior view of the major vessels of the heart. The vessels is the turning blood to the heart includes like superior and inferior vena cava. As you guys will see, the blue is the superior vena cava is the superior side of the heart. The inferior vena cava is the inferior right and left pulmonary veins. So this is all about the interior view I'm discussing, so you can easily understand from this picture as well. So the vessels conveying blood away from the heart includes pulmonary trunk, which is split into right and left pulmonary arteries. As you guys will see, the right pulmonary artery and the left pulmonary artery ascending aorta, which is the biggest red, as I highlighted, and it's divided into three branches like brachiocephalic first, then left common carotid, then the subclavian artery. So, as we discuss, in every organ there is always arteries and the veins, and just like in the heart, there is arteries which supply the blood to the heart, like a right and left coronary artery, marginal circumflex artery, and anterior interventricular arteries. If you will focus on the left side of the image, which shows in red the all arteries, then on the right side there are veins, the small cardiac vein, anterior cardiac vein, and great cardiac veins. So in this image, as you guys will see, the whole blood pumping, the circulation and the heartbeat as well, like how heart pump blood to our body, and the vessels which I discussed previously, like the aorta, right and left pulmonary arteries, and the brachiocephalic, and the all major arteries which I discussed previously. Just you guys can easily identify the whole structure in this video. Like this is all his mixture. Hopefully, this will be really helpful for you. So previously we discussed the anterior view, and here is the posterior view. So always every organ has the anterior and posterior view. So in this video As I discussed the anterior view, there is also a posterior view of the heart, the vessels turning blood to the heart. As we discussed in anteriorly, we can also see these veins like right and left pulmonary vein, and posteriorly also we can see these veins, the superior and inferior vena cava as well. Vessels conveying blood away from the heart like aorta and right and left pulmonary arteries. We discussed in the anterior view as well and in the posterior view as well. So, posteriorly we have arteries and veins as well. So, posteriorly, which arteries we have, like right coronary artery and the posterior interventricular artery in interventricular groove, and then the veins like great cardiac vein. We discuss in the interior view as well the posterior vein to the left ventricle, coronary sinus, and the middle cardiac vein. You have to remember which arteries and vein lie anteriorly and which lie posteriorly. We have the four chambers of heart, the right atrium, the right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle, as I mentioned all in this image, easily identifiable for you peoples. So, the upper two chambers of the heart is the atria, which receive and collect blood. The ventricle is the lowest two chambers of the heart, pump blood out of the heart. So septum basically is a muscle that divide our heart into right and left halves. So it is basically the intermediate between right and left ventricle. It is a muscular part, and as I highlighted, so it is just between our two ventricles which divide our heart into halves. Then we have valves. We have four chambers, so we have four valves as well. The tricuspid valve, as you guys will see, the colors which are also highlighted as circle in this image, so easily identifiable for people, which is the tricuspid valve, pulmonary semilunar valve, highlighted in red, and written in red as well, mitral and bicuspid valve, and the aortic and semilunar valve. So, what is the purpose of the valve? It basically prevent backflow of the blood, keep blood flowing in one direction only. So this is also the image of valve as we discussed in previous slide. So this is the cut section like superior view of all valves, as you guys will see which one is the tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, semilunar valve, and easily identifiable in the model as well. If you guys will see superiorly, as most of the teachers ask this question in the Viva as well, so it will be really helpful for you. So muscles now basically it is the spiral in shape. As we discussed, the myocardium is the muscle bulk of the heart, but there is also a atrial musculature and the ventricular musculature, as you guys will see it like a hug, as you guys will see on the left side, then you will relate it on the right side. So it is basically a spiral in shape, just like hugging each other. So hopefully this video and this image will be really helpful for you to remember this type of things. So the every muscle have the name, like myocardium makes the muscle of the heart, but there is a name of the atrial muscle and the ventricular muscle. So actinate muscle is basically mark the atrial wall. So the choriotensin, as I discussed in the previous slide, it basically a fibrous connective tissue thread-like projection attached to the papillary muscle, basically prevent outburst during the systole to swinging back. So the thickness of the heart, it is really important that you guys have in your mind the left ventricle have much more thicker than the right. So if you guys will see in the model, and in the next right side of the image there is also a contracted and relaxed image I mentioned. So you guys will see the left ventricle is much more thicker and how it look like when the heart contract and relax. So the deoxygenated blood firstly entered the superior inferior vena cava to the right atrium, then to the tricuspid valve, the right ventricle. That it goes upward to the pulmonary artery. It enters the lungs, then the deoxygenated blood converted in the oxygenated blood, then it re-entered to the left atrium, then to the mitral valve. It enters in the left ventricle, then it pumps blood to the aortic valve, the aorta, to the all over the body. So now we have the conduction system, which is basically the electrical wiring house. It basically control the rhythm and the pace of your heartbeat. So how the conduction system works? So firstly, the SA node basically sends signal that make your heart beat. So first of all, SA node is really important to start the signal. Then the signal goes to the atrioventricular node, which is basically the AV node, carries electrical signal from your heart upper chamber of its lower one. Then it takes signal from the SA node, then it supply the downwards to the heart. Or in the next slide you will watch the further. So first the SN node generate the electrical impulse, then it transfer the AV node, which is the atrioventricular node, then to the downwards the bundle of his basically. Then the bundle of his then supply blood to the right and left bundle branches. Then the signal goes downward further to the Purkinje fibers, which basically make a perfect rhythm and the beat of the heart, which is important of our heart to basically beat. So this is basically the human heart anatomy. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys will love the video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel, like the video as well, share it with your friends as well.